Next, well, after getting that Chevy running and some Budweiser inspiration in me, I decided to start playing with my diesel van. The very first one I made in January of 2001. So now it's almost 25 years since it was converted. It worked when I parked it here, but the problem was it was rusted out. The gas tank rusted out underneath the strap that supports it, so every bit of fuel you put in it in a short while just ran straight out on the ground, so it couldn't contain fuel whatsoever. I never did run it ejection pump dry, so since I was motivated for a while anyways, until I got too cold and it was too windy and I ran out of beer, I bypassed the fuel system, which is this pipe and this pipe. And this is the input, and I had it in a bottle with fuel, diesel, and that was the return. And some critter had chewed this looped line that bleeds all the injectors back to the injection pump. And so that's sort of a redneck repair that still leaks. But then when I put the battery in, we had no electricity, just a tiny little beeping inside the car, and that was it. So after thinking on it overnight, and today is such a beautiful day, and it's warm and it's not windy, I decided to find the wiring problem, and this was down there like that, and it was out of sight, and this connector had completely corroded off. So now it's got the wires peeled back in a brand new connector, and that's my main B+ feed to my fuse box. So I'm going to put this battery in. If it cranks a little bit, I don't want to run the injection pump dry. I'll go back and get my bottle of fuel again and see if it's going to start. Sweet if it does. Now, if you've been watching YouTube today and you're subscribed to Robot Cantina, who's an awesome guy who builds crazy things like I do and puts wrong motors in vehicles especially, he just put one of these 1.6 VW diesels in his white S10 Chevy pickup truck. I wrote to him and said how disappointed I was, but at least we get to watch his project evolve through adding a turbo, adding an ALH engine. I sure wanted to put one of those 350-pound tuned, torquey CJA engines like I have in my gray Caravan. But anyways, we get to watch what he does. His vehicles are always underpowered, just like this thing. This is the turbo version with 74 horsepower, and his 1.6 is the not turbo version with 54 horsepower. If you don't know Robot Cantina, subscribe to him, watch him. All his videos are great. He's about my age, and he's probably autistic like me too, so that's why he's intelligent, creative, and quirky. Well, battery's in. It's too tall because it's my tractor battery. It's got lots of cranking amps, so I had to lay it down. Hopefully the axle doesn't leak out. I hear a lot more beepage than I heard yesterday. Good thing I'm wearing clothes, because there's a lot of mouse crap on there that you definitely need ass protection for. Oh, this van's got a little over 500,000 kilometers on it now. It's absolutely in horrible condition, especially after sitting here for 7 years. Little back view, what my ass end looks like. Nothing but rust and rodent poop. Let's see if we got ignition. Ah, what the hell? Doing the same thing as yesterday. Just a little bit of beepage. Ah, let me turn the headlights on. Where are they? There they are. And the four ways. There's still an electrical problem. Let me wiggle the battery terminals. Oh man. Ugh. Still no headlights. Well, I guess I'm going to need some liquid motivation again and some booster cables so I can attach them to the battery and start touching points like this or wherever and see what brings the headlights and blinkers on. At least when I'm standing out here, at least I'll know before I go back in the car that I have some sense of success. Well, I got my homemade life support cables and some life support for me. Laker Ice 5.5 alcohol content. That's what I've been drinking mostly for the last few years. And it's in the budget beer section. It's cheaper than most beers, but it's full-bodied and excellent flavor. So if you're a Canadian, this is your last day you can buy it on sale, I think. For if you buy 2 boxes, which is 224s, it's 33 and a few cents each box. So by Canadian standards, that's cheap. Everywhere else, that's expensive because it is. So let me start probing with these wires and touching power points like that and see if my headlights and blinkers turn on, and then I'll know if we're going someplace or not. Be back in a second. So now I have squeezed diesel into this pipe when I had it removed and turned upside down. And I kept squeezing diesel in it to prime the fuel filter, prime the head of the injector pump. And when the return line stopped bubbling, I'm assuming everything's full. Now we're just going to have air into the high pressure lines. All the fittings are loose. You can see the leaky fluid down there. So now I got to give it some crankage and get some fluid flowing through those things. With my foot almost pushed all the way down. So it's obviously not going to start. So now I'll go see if it's made the engine wetter with fuel. Oh, it certainly has. So let me tighten those up and give it a glow plug shot and see if we get any firing. All right, glow plug. Crankage, foot down. It's firing a little. Oh my God! That was quick and easy. I think that's the easiest injector pump I've ever bled. Cool. You can see the return line putting a little bit of foam in there. Well, Jimbo from Robot Cantina, now you know what your Chevy truck is going to sound like in a different vehicle. That get with the wrong motor. Let's take it for a drive. Cool. Another 1 beer job. I don't want these to fall out. Still running on life support. More crankage. Oh. It's moving. Wheels feel tight. Steering wheel's all sticky like hell. Ugh, that's disgusting. think that's first. Oh my God. We can go to the beer store now. Get some more motivation, some extra motivation to start some more cars. Oh, no power steering. It's not easy to steer one-handed with no power steering. Hello, Chevy-ack. Roundy rounders. Oh. Cool. What a perfect day. Get that turbo in. Oops. Better not. My battery might fall out. It's kind of laying down. That's a success. Oh, its brakes are so free that it's rolling backwards. Cool. Well, they'll know you're coming down the road when they hear this thing. My diesel gray caravan, you can't even hear it. The classic diesel sound, I still love it. Oh. This is actually Labor Day now. Cool.